again with another episode of Hero Inside. Before you start using your new superpowers and saving the world and all that junk, it's probably a good idea to have a basic plan or a strategy. Because like we said earlier, being a hero is risky. There are different levels of risk involved with each action. For example, speaking up directly to a bully is extremely risky, but telling a teacher is not. Never do anything that puts you in danger. If you ever feel like you're being threatened or in physical danger, then just back off. Here are some things that you can do. Speak up directly to the bully. This is definitely the most risky and can be tricky, especially if you don't know the person all that well. What you don't want to do is add fuel to the fire. You don't want to make them angry or make things worse. So do it in a calm but firm voice. Here are some really good things that you can say that tend to work well. That's not okay. Enough. That's not nice. Not cool. That's not funny. That's mean. Come on, he's had enough. Be nice. Those are all good. You can make it not threatening by asking a question. Is everything okay? What's going on here? Generally, if you have some kind of advantage over the person doing the bullying, it's pretty easy to speak up. One of the best ways to stand up for someone is to do it as a group. Most bullying happens in front of an audience, so there are usually other people around. The people in the audience, they might want to help, but they might be afraid to be the first to act, or to act alone. You can get a group of students together to confront or challenge the kid being mean. A group of 3 or more usually works best. Another great way to stand up for someone is to stand with them. What do I mean by this? By standing with someone, I mean to publicly support them. Be seen with them. Sit down next to them at lunch. Walk with them in the hallway. Wait for the bus with them. I heard this awesome story from a school I visited. Every day at lunch, there was a 6th grade boy who would sit down at the lunch table, but when he would sit down, everyone else at the table would get up. They'd pick up their trays and move to a different table. This happened day after day. He would sit down, they would get up. After noticing this for a while, an 8th grade girl over at the popular kids table decided she was going to do something. So the next time those guys got up and moved to a different table, she and all her popular friends got up and sat down with the kid being made fun of. Can you imagine the looks on the other kids' faces when he got to sit with all the popular girls? Yeah, pretty awesome. This is the kind of strategy that Glenn used for me. He included me into his group of friends and publicly stood with me. Standing with someone can be even more powerful than standing up for someone. Another thing you can do is to privately support the person being made fun of. After it's over, you can go up to them and say something like, "I'm sorry for how they treated you. That shouldn't have happened. Do you want to find a teacher to talk to? Or are you okay?" This might not put an end to the bullying, but it can really make the victim feel like they aren't so alone. Sometimes the worst part of bullying is the way you feel after, when you feel all alone. It's good to know that other people care and are in your corner. And an easy thing to do is to tell an adult. Let me just put an end to something right here. People think that if you tell a teacher or an adult that you're tattling, but there's a big difference between tattling and reporting. If you're tattling on someone, you're just trying to get somebody into trouble. But when you're telling an adult about a problem like a bully, you're actually trying to help someone. You're trying to get someone out of trouble. See the difference? Think of it more like you're a witness to a crime or something like that. You need to report it to the proper authorities. I had a kid come up after a show and tell me how the strongest kid in the school confronted him in the bathroom. He had him up against the wall and everything. Another student walked in and saw what was going on. He didn't feel safe speaking up directly to the kid being mean, so he ran and grabbed a teacher. The teacher ran in and stopped it before it got too far. You can also tell an adult after it happens, especially if they keep doing it over and over every day. A lot of the times the kids getting picked on are ashamed or afraid to tell someone. So tattling, you're trying to get somebody into trouble. Reporting, you're trying to get somebody out of trouble. A really creative way to stop a bullying situation is to create a distraction. I'm not talking about going, "Hey guys, look over here, look at me." But that's kind of what you're trying to do. You're just trying to get the heat off the kids being picked on. Something like, "Hey, a teacher's coming," or "I think the cops are coming." It doesn't matter what the distraction is, as long as you can get the heat off the person being picked on. As long as you can change the subject for a minute, that's what it's all about. The last thing you can do to stand up to a bully is simply not become an audience. Kids who bully are desperate for attention. They are performers who crave an audience. So if you laugh or give them any kind of reaction, you're rewarding them. Once you remove that reward by not laughing or walking away, their joke doesn't seem so funny. It's like if you tell a joke and nobody laughs, do you ever laugh at that joke? Do you ever tell that joke again? No, you pretend like it never happened. Same thing. If you don't give them a reaction, then you're not supporting what they're doing. So just don't laugh. Don't give them any kind of attention. So these are the basic strategies to stand up for someone. Not every strategy will work for every situation, because every situation is different. So pick the one that you feel the most comfortable with. And remember that sometimes a smaller act can have a bigger